Just getting them on the right, getting them on the left means that he has fire team, which is two ships, and one of them covers the right side of the formation, and the other one covers the left side of the formation. So you'll hear people telling each other each side they have. And the break is when you go in and hit something, which way you turn is the break. This 1 and 2 flights, the zones were quite small. We were taking 10 ships in, so you had to take 5 at a time. So you had 2 different elements going into the zone. And like I say, the wind wasn't blowing through awfully much, so all the artillery and the airstrikes that had come in there had left the place so smoky that it was very hard to see. And what we haven't heard was the talk that you hear right there was that the number 5 ship in the first flight that went in hit a tree, and he was getting into the zone, all got out of it, and he kept it upright. They had to replace the tail rotor and the tail rotor gearbox. They flew it out about 3 hours later while things were still going on. The second flight was just taken off while it was on, and they got fire also from the ground. And that's what you hear, line me up on it. The weapon systems have a certain degree of flexibility right and left, up and down, and you got to turn the ship so that he can line the guns up on them. We're usually doing circles about them while they're going into the zone, they're slowing up and doing circles around them to try to cover in case they receive fire. They throw white smoke, and then we hit the area in which the white smoke is falling into. And we've also, after the lifts start going, you get more people into the landing zone, which is the Lima Zulu. You have to watch out for the friendlies on the ground. That's why you hear the limited fuel on these ships. We try to keep a lot of fuel on board for emergencies, and while the flight's going on, we try to get refuel between the time they get to the pickup zone, which is the PZ, and the landing zone, which is the LZ. And we try to keep gun cover on them all the time. In fact, that's command number. When you come out after the next drop off, you'll get immediately refuel. Rules of engagement means that you must be fired at and identify the man firing at you, or the area firing at you, by flashes or by seeing the person before you can fire back. That's speaking of the ship that knocked the tail over. No one was hurt. So that's what we call a CA, Combat Assault Mission, and like I say, it was an interesting one of the more interesting ones we've had in some time, and actually it's quite good to get in on because we have had a great deal of contact since I've been here, and you get complacent, you know, you get complacent in your flying, and the lift shifts and everything, and you also get complacent when we're flying these gunships covering these people, and we tend sometimes maybe to, not get in the best positions by sloughing off, not being alert. It takes one of these good things to keep us in proper perspective.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us.
Born in Cowan, Tennessee, 15 October 36. Local school, Sewanee Military Academy, High School in Sewanee, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, 1958. We have two sons, both of us are military. My brother went Naval Academy, and I came here with both. He retired Air Force, and I retired Army. I kind of thought I wanted to be an engineer, and at that time, I believed that Georgia Tech was the best opportunity close by. And when I got to Tech, it was obvious it was going to be a hard run. And I found out that I could go to ROTC, which was mandatory at that time at Tech for the first 2 years as a physically able. So I figured those hours in the military in ROTC would be A's, and I'd need them. And then when I got through the first 2 years, I still enjoyed it and continued. Well, ROTC, you have a summer between junior and senior year, 6 weeks, and then if you finish the thing, you become a second lieutenant, and you have an obligation. At that time was 58. The obligation was 2 years, and if you took a regular Army commission, it was 3 years. So I had that obligation right out of school. When I was finishing my junior year at Georgia Tech, our instructor said, we're going to have a flight program, ROTC flight program, next year, which would have been my senior year, or was. And I volunteered for it. That summer I took the physical, I got it. And so during my senior year out here at Charlie Brown in Atlanta, I got 40 hours of ground school and 40 hours as a J3 Cub, and got my license to fly. The obligation for which I was obligated to ask for flight school when I went in the Army. And I did. And I went through basic airborne ranger and went straight to flight school.
Here's the fledgling pilot to learn how a helicopter actually works in the new TH-55 trainer. It's a standard commercial model, unmodified or off the shelf. Basically, all copter controls are the same. Move this gizmo up to go up, down to go down. The stick in your right hand controls movement to the sides, forward or backward. The pedals are for keeping the copter headed where you want it heading.
From there, out of flight school, now through that Hiller we were talking about. Basic, and then I flew the Piasecki H-21. Tandem rotor job, looks like a flying banana. Old machine. We went to Korea, where my unit only had the bell like you see in MASH, and Sikorsky early model called H-19. So I spent a year there. While there, one of the officers in 60 was going home, and I asked him what he was going to do, and he told me he was going to Fort Bragg to a special forces thing, and then to Vietnam. And I said, where's that? So, you want to know what's going on? That's when I first really became conscious that we had a little thing going on in Vietnam. I was down at Fort Rucker after Korea, and they came by looking for a few people to go to Vietnam to instruct the Vietnamese in flying the Sikorsky H-34. And I wasn't qualified, so I didn't get to go. And so I had some time in
This is the first non-stick with no coating. The titanium always pan pro.
unit down there that basically armored on helicopters. Then I had a year and a half in France and a year in Germany. And while I was over in Germany, I again asked to go to Vietnam. So when I finished that German thing in December of '63, I came home for 2 weeks leave and reported in Vietnam about the 20th of January of 1964.
And you requested it because you were a career guy and that's where the war was, or what made you want to go to Vietnam?
Well, if you're trained to do something and you're paid to be able to do it, it's a shame to hide from it. So that seemed like the thing to do. Out on the West Coast, they had a DC-6 Overseas National Airway. A little bit of a side thing. I had my helmet bag, and in that helmet bag, I had a 357, a 5-shot Airway 38, and my Airway 45, and some ammunition. I didn't know how I was going to get there or what I was going to find. And when I walked up the steps, the stewardess was there and I told her what I had in my bag, and she said, "Put it under your seat. We don't want it to fall out and hurt someone." I got to Vietnam. They told me where I was going, and I flew in, and here you are, and we'll be checking you out. And there was the UH-1Bs that I was well qualified in. What did I find there? At that time, in 1968, we had about 5 or 6 aviation companies, I think. And we had 2 of them north of Saigon, one at Quy Nhon and one at Pleiku. And we supported the Vietnamese. And we took them out on operations. We had people who were advisors out there. We resupplied. Actually, medevac at that time. The medevac wasn't well established. And we took people out to the villages, medical people, psychological warfare people, whatever we were told to do, that's how we got out there.
Do you remember your first mission?
Not really. In 1964, you know, they never had a really hot mission in 1964 because we just didn't have any big battles in '64. I've got notes for the first 7 months on what we did every day, a little bitty paragraph. And you flew, if you were doing administrative stuff, you went up above 1,500 feet, which probably would give you the best chance of not being hit by small roads. And sometimes we flew one pilot missions then. As far as medevac goes in '64, when we went, first off, you got to know that in the UH-1 we had 3 basic radios. You had a UHF, and that was kind of Air Force, and a VHF, which was kind of Army, and then FM, which is what people on the ground would communicate with you. And in '64, when we flew from one point to the other, we set our FM radios on 37.0, and everyone who was on the ground as a special forces, and I hadn't mentioned the special forces, but there were a lot of special forces camps that we supplied in '64 and helped do whatever they wanted us to do. And so they knew that we were in 37-0 if they saw a UH-1 coming over, and the advisors on the ground knew that also. So